Okay, now in part 2 of this particular section we are going to do a little bit more in-depth review of how you can get found on the UK. And again, this doesn't matter whether you're trade, whether you're B2B, B2C, whatever type of business you're doing. This is crucial, and what we found when we've used these scenarios, and the one I'm going to show you, which is competitor analysis using MOZ rankings, is that once you take this information and you find out what your competitors are doing, you can increase your website presence, you can increase your blogs. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to all of a sudden, unless your website is really bad of course, you're not going to all of a sudden go from 10 hits a night, a day or a week or a month to 1 million hits. It's not going to happen quite that quickly. It's a progress, it's progressive. But if you take these actions upon yourself and make sure whoever your trade partners are also carrying out these actions to your requirements, then you're going to get more exposure, you're going to get seen. If you get more exposure, you're getting seen, you're getting more click-throughs, you're getting more conversions. It's that simple. It's fairly straightforward. So let's have a quick look exactly what I'm talking about if you're not familiar with MOZ rankings and things like that. And basically what we're doing here is we're looking at one of your competitors, and the competitor in this particular case we're looking at translation services. We're looking for competitors in that market to see what it is they're using and what positions they're gaining on the websites. This is just a screenshot from an actual review that we did, and this was looking at a particular company, translation services in London, and they were ranking position 2 for quite a lot of things, and then position 3, position 2, position 1, translation services 24, but they were only getting about 40 hits a month. However, they're on position 1, so yes, you can use that information. Translation services, they're in position 2, which is very, very good, especially if you're geo-targeting the London area, which this particular company was. Position number 2 on Google, that's fine. Position 1 always gets a good hit after all the ads. Position 2, position 3 are good. Position 4, obviously you've got less people looking, and then once you've gone past position 9 or 10 and you're on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th page, well then obviously you're getting further and further away. But what you can see here is some of the words that they were using. It's giving the position, it's giving the UK search volume, which was the way we were looking at it. It was giving us the difficulty rating index, so how good or bad it was to actually be found for those words. And if you're into cost per click, then you're getting some idea of the costs. You can look at organic traffic, you can go into competition. There's a lot of data in here, and I'm giving you a snapshot here of what it is. I'm not going into all of this in depth detail here now because this isn't part of the presentation. This is just telling you how to get online, and this is just one of the tools. But what I will do is I will show you what you always get back on the results that we use is the web page that this is taking us to. So what I've done is I've set this up so that we can see the web page results. So this has taken me through to Translation Services 24, which was the HTTP link on the position for that. So you can remember, I think that was position 2, and again 40 hits. But this was taking me through to this page, and you can see from here, it's a nice page, it's well laid out, it's got a lot of information, it's got reviews in there, it's got some nice clients. It's got some good words, so you can see here at the very beginning of one of the headers, Translation Services 24. It's giving you the key phrase at the very beginning of the page. Yeah. So why our translations and all the rest of it, you've got it there. Lots and lots of information, but it is key. Need a price, get a quote. It's actually very, very well done, and they're obviously marketing well all over the world. Translation Services 24. Translation Services. So you can see here, they've got a key phrase in there. The key phrase, Translation Services 24. They're using that and they've peppered it through. They've put it in different places on the actual data, on the words that they're using, but they haven't done overkill. They've just put it a little bit, and they'll be using other keywords and key phrases in there as well. You've got a good page that they are going to there, and they're using that. Let's go back to this. You can see the links, and the links will be available to you hopefully on the data that's coming through. But you can see from here we've used Translation Services 24. Only gets a few hits, 40, but it works. You look here, all the different key phrases or keywords that we're using. You can compile a whole marketing campaign behind that. So Translator London, Legal Translation Service, translation companies, look at what your competitors are using to drive the key phrases and key words to their websites, and you get this data. And MOZ is one, and MOZ is probably the best, still the best out there, but you're getting your competitors' data, you're getting the web page that your competitors' keywords are on, and you can see what they are writing. This is crucial for your marketing campaigns. So you need to do this type of thing. You can either do it yourself, go to moz.com and download their software. There's a free trial for a month. You can come to people like me and we can get these reports for you. Obviously, if we do that, there's a cost. You get the idea. Let's have another quick look at another one here. And this was a wedding planner. Same scenario again. They've got, how to end a speech, peach wedding shoes, bridesmaids, Forest of Dean Castle to be a place that they were looking at, top table planter. What they've done is they've created lots and lots of pages which have got these key phrases in. Now, position 95, 40, 35, 68, they're not getting great rankings on Google, but there's 170 searches, 140, 40, 50, 1,000. If you then add up that volume of searches there, which is going to be 10, 15,000 a month, they've got all those pages, they are still getting hits. They're still getting hits because they'll be getting hits for almost exact matches. This one here, 2,400 unique wedding venues in Essex, again geo-targeted. So they're geo-targeting. They might have an affiliate link on there which sends them through to another page, which then if somebody books, somebody else gets paid. So you've got a lot here. Now what we're going to do is click on another couple of links here so you can get the idea. So how to start and end the speech is this one. So that's taking us through to their web page, the wedding planner. You can see what they've got, but how to start and end a speech. Again, it might not get the most hits on there, but if you add up all of the hits they get across the whole range of web pages they've got, they're getting a lot of hits a month. And then if they are in collaboration with any of these, they could be getting royalties from these, or it could be a case that they're just selling things themselves through an agency. Okay, so you can see that. And again, they've got good text, clear text, and it's not overloaded with keywords. It's not what they call keyword stuffed. It's adequate, and it's got lots of other key phrases in all of the data. What I will say now is do not sort of go here and say that's my business and then copy exactly what they've got. Google and the search engines will see a direct copy and they'll mark you down and they'll de-rank your website. You'll go lower and lower in the rankings rather than higher and higher. Now let's have a look at the other one there. So this was ways to wear coloured wedding shoes. Coloured spelled O-U-R, not O-R, you might notice. So again, we're going into here. We've got a pair of pink heart shoes, ways to wear coloured shoes at a wedding, and you've got a whole blog here about shoes, and there will be keywords in there which will tell you this is good stuff to use to get extra hits. You've got brands in here, so you've got things like Vera Wang, Monique Lehlier. These are obviously brands, so you might be using other people's brands and pictures as part of your blog. So if you create lots of pages, lots of blog posts, lots of information, by utilizing the data that you can get from the MOZ rankings, from your competitor report, you can start really pulling in some decent hits on your website. But again, here you've got all of these here. There's probably 30 there. That gives you 30 different titles to actually drive business. Now you can improve on these, but you can see they're already getting hits. Their position may not be great, but the volume searches show that they're still getting searches. It's worthwhile doing it. Obviously here you've got all of the links in the report when the reports come to you, so that you can actually go and interrogate it. Now, some of the reports that come through on the spreadsheets of your competitors, if you think you take your top 10 competitors and analyze their data, you are going to have potentially hundreds, if not thousands, of links to web pages where you're going to be able to get ideas for your marketing campaign. So by doing this once, you could end up with a couple of years worth of marketing by creating blogs, videos, audios, PDFs, whatever it is to reach your target audience. Everybody has competitors. I don't mind what product is you're selling or what service you're selling, you have competitors. And if you're not looking at what your competitors are doing, then you're leaving money on the table, you're missing opportunity, especially if they're a competitor that is doing really well and getting on position 1 and 2, or is having lower positions but getting some good volume searches. I'm going to leave it on that note here on this video and come back to you on a separate video